As the British Virgin Islands braces for the hit of another hurricane, Maria, residents are advised to rest assured that the British Virgin Islands Health Services Authority has secured sufficient essential medical supplies, an assurance given by the head of DDM and the NEOC, Mrs. Charlene Dabrio.
The health disaster coordinator has been working directly with the public health system to identify those individuals and ensure that their medication is getting to them. We had a large supply of insulin that came in yesterday from PAHO. It's 1,000 vials that came in of insulin. We had 1,000 vials of tetanus. The entire public health system has been activated, and they're focusing on individuals in not only in shelters but individuals in critical areas that will need to have their medication administered.
Mrs. Dabrio was at the time speaking at a press conference along with Premier and the Minister of Finance, Dr. the Honorable D. Orlando Smith, and the Governor, His Excellency Augustus Jaspert. They are advising persons in elevated areas, hillsides, and close to guts to consider moving to safer locations.
So persons who are living in high elevations, low-lying areas, or those who are close to guts, we're urging you now to consider moving to some area that is much safer. We will be walking through some of the high-risk communities today to speak with individuals in those areas to try to encourage them to take action now. The forecasters are estimating 6 to 12 inches of rain with 20 inches in isolated areas. So those areas that are particularly vulnerable, we can have significant precipitation in those areas.
Assessments are being conducted of other existing shelters.
The shelters that were open, the 11 shelters that we had just a few days ago that we were operating, those are still in place. What we're doing today is that we're going to every single one of those facilities to check the structure, the public health conditions, the conditions of individuals in those shelters. If we need to make a decision to move them to other safer locations, that decision will be made today. So the final listing of the shelters to support Maria's response will be issued this afternoon. But we needed to make sure that we had an opportunity to check to make sure that people were safe, children are safe in the shelter, the structures are safe, and for us to make a determination whether we should leave individuals in those buildings.
The 2017 hurricane season is scheduled to last to the end of November, and persons are advised to always be prepared, as this season is a very active one. With this JTV News Report, I'm Kathy Richards.